San Francisco transforms itself into Super Bowl City. A lot of people want to know, where will all the homeless go? The city wants them out. KPIX5's Mike Sugerman found out the feds may have something to say about that. Mike?
Well, Veronica, Boise, Idaho passed a law that says it's illegal to sleep outside on city streets. The federal government says, no, it's not. And it asked a federal judge to overturn that law. Well, that sounded a little bit like San Francisco plans to do during the Super Bowl. So we went to find out. Just last month, Mayor Ed Lee told our filmateer the homeless would not be allowed to be outside during Super Bowl festivities.
But you're going to have to leave the streets.
But a recent Justice Department opinion says it's unconstitutional to jail someone who's just sleeping on the street. We wondered how that would affect things.
I believe that the best touch is not so much the police duties of moving people.
But what do you do when they don't move?
Well, we ask them, what do they need?
I got to say, you're kind of talking around this. What do you do when someone doesn't want to leave the street and the Justice Department says you can't put them in jail?
Well, what I'm suggesting to you is that we dialogue until we get to the right result.
Police know dialogue doesn't always work and have looked at the Justice Department opinion. I'm on the street, I'm sleeping. You come up to me and say you got to leave. I'm not leaving. Justice Department says you can't.
Well, there's opinions to varying degrees.
There is no federal law. He's right. It's just a legal opinion from the Justice Department. They'd have to come in and sue the city, like they did in Ferguson, Missouri, after what they saw as a pattern of discrimination.
It's not going to happen in San Francisco or Los Angeles, these other democratic cities, where why would the Justice Department put those resources there?
Activist attorney Randy Shaw says the Justice Department has better things to do. And some think nature just might take its course.
We're supposed to be headed for the most horrendous winter, maybe that we've had on record, that's going to bring unbelievable cold and rain.
Maybe just take care of the street homeless problem, while Super Bowl focus will be on the city. Of course, it would also wash out the Super Bowl, and the city doesn't want that. Mayor Ed Lee today did approve $3 million for additional services for the homeless, for places to go if they don't want to sleep on the street. In San Francisco, Mike Sugerman, KPIX5.
Of Hope, Arkansas. Takeover at Oakland City Hall tonight. Protesters chain themselves to the city council dais. Night Beat's Mike Sugerman is at City Hall right now. Mike.
Well, there's supposed to be a vote on what some call gentrification in Oakland, but there was no vote. Protesters shut the place down.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what the city council.
The people forcing Oakland City Council members out of their seats weren't elected. They forced their way in, took over council chambers, and then sat in their seats. Well, some might say more lawlessness in Oakland.
What do you want me to lock everybody up? What is that going to solve?
Council member Noel Gallo and the others didn't. They just adjourned the meeting, so protesters took their seats.
Could we go in there and arrest all these people? Yeah, we probably could, but what are we really gaining from that at this point?
At issue, a development set near Lake Merritt, which activists say is on public land, and luxury apartments in it will rent for upwards of $3,100.
This project that has come before the council tonight is proposed to not have a single unit of affordable housing.
They don't feel they were part of the process deciding how that land should be used, so they shut down the meeting.
Why not? I mean, the way that this decision was made and the East 12 parcel development was pushed forward did not include the people who are impacted in that community.
No arrests. Protesters left about an hour ago. Another city council meeting will be held tomorrow, maybe the next day. On the Night Beat in Oakland, I'm Mike Sugerman.
Developing news in San Francisco, police are searching for a gunman who opened fire on board a Muni light rail this afternoon. KPIX5's Mike Sugerman there, and you talked to somebody who witnessed this all, Mike?
Yeah, Al, imagine terrifying moments. You're in the Bayview here. You're on a Muni bus. It comes to a stop. You're waiting to get on. You're waiting to get off. Somebody shoots somebody, close range, and a panic then to get off that bus, away from danger. It was noon on a crowded Muni train, 3rd and Paloux. Reginald Daniels was about to get on.
As soon as the doors open, you hear pow, pow, pow. See 3 guys jump off the train first. Then you see a whole lot of people running and falling, fall over each other, trying to get off the train. It was like a stampede.
He saw a man slumped on the ground with a bullet hole in his head. The victim, a 20-year-old San Francisco man, rushed to the hospital, badly injured. Doctors say he may not survive. Police say it was a single shooter, and he's still on the loose.
You live over here, you're used to it. So that's what you have to do. You deal with it, get it over it, and you're out the way.
This part of San Francisco is, in fact, a high crime area, double the national average. But this kind of crime, a shooting on a Muni train, is very rare.
These things do happen. They happen rarely, but they do happen. And it's something that we want to make sure that we provide all information to catch anybody that may be involved.
Part of that information, video, and lots of it. Each Muni train car has at least 8 and sometimes 12 cameras capturing every section of the car. And all the video from this crime is now in the hands of police. So Muni stopped the T-line for a couple hours. There were buses instead of trains. Everything's back to normal now, and police continue to search for that suspect. In the Bayview, Mike Sugerman, KPIX 5.
Very first time a woman will grace the $20 bill. KPIX 5's Mike Sugerman tells us it's not just the 20, but the $10 and $5 bills are changing too. Mike?
Well, this show me the money. And now it's time for the ladies. Not just one, but several. And if time is money, many say it's about time. It's no longer just about the Benjamins. It's now also about the Harriets. Harriet Tubman.
A woman could grow up as a slave, remain illiterate, and through her heroism and her vision and her determination, help to change the course of this country.
Harriet Tubman was an escaped slave who helped others to freedom through the Underground Railroad.
I have 3 great-granddaughters, and the only thing they learn in history is about Martin Luther King.
Thelma Simmons is an Oakland activist who says this can be used as a teachable moment. Alexander Hamilton is reliving his 15 minutes of fame on Broadway in the musical Hamilton, so successful that popular sentiment was to keep him on the $10 bill and put Tubman on the 20 instead. That's okay with Tubman backers.
It's time we sort of broaden the concept of what it is to be an American.
Tell me, who do you think that is?
That's a great question.
Yeah. The others named today to grace the back of the $10 bill might be harder to identify, like Sojourner Truth.
I know who Sojourner Truth is.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
She was a civil rights activist.
Others include Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Alice Paul, and
Francis Scott Key.
Francis Scott Key, that's a woman.
Yeah.
It's Lucretia Mott, and she may have taken better pictures in her day. She was an abolitionist and women's rights advocate, and we will all get to see more of when the new bills start being printed in 2020. And new on the back of the $5 bill, Eleanor Roosevelt, Marian Anderson, and Martin Luther King. Mike Sugerman, KPIX 5.
We have some breaking